And then he said, don't wish it was easier, wish you were better. Don't wish for less problems, wish for more skills.
I can't catch a break, guys.
Yeah.
Get them the fuck away from me. I can't be around those guys.
People think, oh, well, cleaning your room, that's just a cliche. It's like, yeah, really, eh? Just go ahead and try it.
If people had any idea how powerful sleep is for healing from anything, and the fact that it's free.
My mind is absolutely bulletproof, solid as a rock.
Podcast. Hello, Chris. Welcome back to another week of the Fight Fit Show. How are you, Pat?
I'm good. How are you?
Very, very good. Are you excited for the wedding? Big wedding happening now on Saturday.
Yes, I am. I've got my suit fitted and all. Can't wait.
It's, just so you know, guys, it's not mine and Chris's wedding. We're not marrying each other. It's Jenny and Stephen's wedding on Saturday, if you're not aware. So for any Fight and Fit members who are listening to this podcast before next week, all right, we will have no sessions on Monday. Monday coming. What date will that be?
29th.
Too much pressure. Pete, feel free to comment there in with the date if you have it. So
I got it right.
There you go. Fair play to you. So the wedding is this Saturday, and then the following Monday there'll be no class, but we are hosting the class on both this Wednesday coming. So hopefully you guys have already done your Wednesday session, and then the next Wednesday, the Wednesday following the wedding, well then we will have another session then just to make up for it. So wedding of the century coming up. We're super, super excited, and it's going to be a good one. We're going to be absolutely bananas, and that is the plan for this weekend.
Can't wait.
Can't wait. Cool. Chris, do you have any updates on when the next testing cycle is? Any roundabout ideas or?
June every quarter. We should be testing, so June will be the next phase. Hopefully we'll have lots of newbies leveling up. I'm starting to see a lot of the people who came in for the last phase really start to hit their stride, and I think there's going to be a lot more blues after this testing phase.
Yeah, for sure. And I know, it's such a great time here in the gym. Definitely a great atmosphere, and a lot of people have vendettas against the test that bet them the last time. And so, really, really nice if you came close to last time. That this is the one. Generally, one or two things happens during the testing cycle. You'll either, well, maybe a few things happen. Maybe you won't level up at all. Maybe you're going backwards. Maybe you're having a hard time. Book it for goal review if that's you. All right. But generally, what will happen is people will make some kind of move forward. They'll go from orange to orange 2 or orange 1, so they're getting halfway there. They're nearly there. And the next testing cycle is crucial then for getting that next color, or even still science to be a slow grind, maybe orange 3, and you're very, very close here on the cusp. But the big one for an awful lot of people who have just joined the gym is that they make that big jump after doing the level method for the first time. And then the other one is the people who just made it to the cusp the last time are going to make that big color change. That's really, really exciting. So June, guys, June, it's coming up. Get excited, get prepared, get your nutrition in order, get your goal reviews booked. Make sure you're doing your drills or whatever needed to give yourself the best possible chance. It's exciting.
We also have the shutters working again.
Yes, summer's here, doors are up. And if we haven't already had it yet, Steve got a new speaker, so those tunes are going to be absolutely blaring. We're going to be vibing this summer.
That's going to be good. And we also have Helen back coming up this in June as well.
Yeah, June 10th. That's exciting. Excited?
I can't wait. I love Helen back. I was talking to two of the clients there last Friday. I explained to them they were really nervous about doing it, and I was like, look, guys, it's not that hard. There's lots of stopping, lots of starting. It's just a great day out. It's long, it's fun. You're going to be uncomfortable, but when you finish, the pints are tasty.
Listen, don't do Helen back in January. Just don't do it. Helen back in January, and Helen back is great crack.
No, Helen back in January is terrible, and in October as well. It's really cold. They use ice water, but in the summer, it's great crack because then the cold showers at the end are refreshing rather than painful.
Yeah, like listen, don't get me wrong. If I was doing a Helen back by myself and it was January or October, it wouldn't be so bad because if you're doing a Helen back to do Helen back, you're doing it generally as a massive fitness challenge. January, October, listen, it's gonna be very difficult mentally, emotionally, physically. It's gonna be hard. Whereas when you do it in the summer months, it's a lot more accessible to people who are just trying to do it to, just challenge themselves, push the boat out a little bit. They're new to fitness, they want to try something. They're just, quote unquote, a keep fitter. They're just trying to push the boat out a little bit without getting sick afterwards or hurting themselves or going through a traumatic event of jumping into a lake that's nearly 0 degrees. And so really, really exciting. It's going to be really, really fun. No reason to be too afraid of hell and back now coming in June. And I think we're doing
this
this
big dive into the lake.
Oh, I wasn't even thinking about that. I was just thinking there's a image burned into my mind or experience burned into my mind of just a chest high lake. Is it even a lake? A pond? I don't know what it is. And it's got a rope from one side to the other. And I remember getting in it in January, and just the oxygen just shot out of my body.
Yeah. And then there's the swamp part. Then there's the electric fence part. There's the big wall. There's all the tires you have to jump over. There's loads of cool stuff. Is there a BB? There's a BB gun where you have to run through a forest. You're getting shot by BBs.
I don't think it's a BB. I think it technically is a pellet gun. Airsoft. I think BB's metal. BB's no joke. Like if you got a BB gun, it's like you can do damage with a BB gun. Pellet guns or airsoft, not so bad. Airsoft.ie, little plug there for our man Liam. You know, if you are looking to buy a pellet gun, make sure you go to airsoft.ie. So coming up, guys, on the show, we said we're going to talk about bulking and cutting, and so essentially, what should you be doing? Should you be doing either one? So I would say 90% of people who sign up to Fighting Fit sign up with the intention of losing fat, right? And so, what do you do post your fat loss phase? So let's say you were in the overweight category. You're now ideal, right? So not even just out of the overweight category. You're gone past it, healthy into that middle spectrum where if you gain 5 or 10 pounds, you're not really going to notice. You're not going to move into the overweight category. You're ideal, right? So let's say you're there now. Do you keep cutting, which is the instinct I find an awful lot of people have. Once they get as lean as they want to get, they just have the instinct to just keep getting leaner. It's like leaner is not always better, especially when you're a beginner and lifting weights. It's like really probably what you should be focusing on is now maintaining the body fat percentage you have and focusing on packing on pounds of muscle. What do you think?
Yeah, well, obviously it depends on your own goals and all that sort of stuff. But if your goal is to, let's say, just look a little bit more aesthetically pleasing, usually broader shoulders, bigger chest, all that sort of stuff, wider back, are all things that help. And it's really hard to do that if you are in a deficit. I'd say the first thing you should do is increase your calories. That will result in more energy for your workouts, increase your carbohydrate intake.
Right. Let's get just as specific as we can. So let's say, for talk's sake, my maintenance is 2,000 calories. I was on a 1,500 calorie diet. I should increase my calories to what?
2,200.
Cool. So it's just a little bit above maintenance.
Small surplus. It's not going to be loads. Time your carbohydrates like pre-workout and post-workout for energy, and then kill your workouts. Absolutely destroy them. Make sure that you are training, as Greg just said, says harder than last time.
Love it. Okay, so up my calories now, 2,200. Should I up my protein to go with that?
I don't think so. I don't think you need to.
Okay.
You kind of go on.
Quote unquote, this imaginary role that I'm playing. I was already eating a reasonable amount of protein. I was already eating like 140, 150.
If you're hitting 140 grams of protein, like you're good. You're good.
Yeah.
You don't like it. More protein isn't necessarily always better. Like you can if you want, but like all you got to do, you just make sure you have the stuff to build to repair yourself once you break your body down. That's all you really need to. Like 140 grams of protein is plenty. If you can eat that sustainably and train really, really hard, like I would say, if you're hitting your protein with that already, like the only increase you should really be getting is from carbohydrates. Like increase your calories with carbohydrates, maybe a little bit of fat, but like, and the carbohydrates I would use to fuel my workouts to help perform. Like if you do a workout carb depleted versus carb saturated, there's a big difference in your energy and your performance, and even just like mental energy and performance as well. Carbs help a lot when it comes to bodybuilding and trying to build muscle and improve performance. So it can be done without it as well, but I just think if you're looking to get the best bang for your buck, increase your carbohydrates and you get to eat lots of tasty food. The main gain phase, I think, is the most enjoyable phase out of all the phases. Cutting is hard. Bulking is hard because you feel fat. I would say you don't really want to bulk. You want to sort of main gain.
What do you think the benefits are to a bulk?
Like you don't have to be as strict with your food. You'll have more energy for your workouts. You get heavier, so like the heavier you are, like stuff will improve with like your bench, your squat, your deadlift, but stuff like your pull-ups won't improve. Not that they won't improve, you just have to move more weight. So the bulk just ensures that you're in a calorie surplus. That's all. But it's not.
And
worth
if I am bulking, if I'm actually bulking, how much weight should I gain a week?
Oh God. Like
On average.
like a quarter of a pound.
And what about a main gain phase?
About a quarter of a pound.
So that can't be right.
Yeah, no, they're like, so the whole point of the main gain, I think, is a better substitute for a bulk. Like the bulk just ensures that you have that extra calorie intake. That's all. And like,
Sorry, I don't mean to put you in the spot, but if I am bulking.
Mm-hmm. So you're of the opinion that you need to, like, a bulk would be like a bear mode, where you're basically just like eating like 800, 900 calories above maintenance.
No. My point is just to try and understand the difference between the calories I'm going to be taking in. Like, for example, what would you, obviously you would consider a main gain 200 calories as a surplus, as opposed to a bulk would be
like 500, 700 calories above maintenance.
Because maybe like a half a pound a week then would be your weight gain, as opposed to a quarter pound with a main gain.
Sorry, yeah, I thought you meant like lean mass.
No.
I would say, but in general, if you eat 500 calories extra on top of your maintenance every single day, you'll gain roughly a pound a week. If you eat 1,000, you'll gain roughly 2 pounds. If you eat a deficit of 500, you lose. Like, that's it. The 500 calorie mark is a general rule. Now, nobody's a perfect system. Getting the calories just right is almost impossible. But as a guesstimation, it works. And I think all my calculations that I'm explaining now are based off that 500 calorie surplus or 500 calorie deficit model.
Excellent. Yeah, really, really, really nice. And so let's say, obviously, I'm going into that main gain phase. Obviously, that's massively dependent on the kind of training I'm doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So if, let's say, I was doing fighting fit workouts and I'm a novice lifter, do you feel like I'd need any supplementary lifting on top of that?
If you're not if you're a novice lifter. But when you go from like novice to intermediate, like our sessions are really good for getting you strong, and when you get strong, you will build muscle. They're really good for getting you incredibly fit and incredibly robust. But it's not like, like the bodybuilding training is a different style of training. And if you're looking for the streamlined path, like, you should do a bodybuilding program if you're looking to like just put on as much muscle as possible. But what I would say is you should.
What if I want to have it all? So I want all those benefits that Fighting Fit offers in terms of volume per week, or in terms of extra sessions. Maybe like I have a set of dumbbells, or maybe I have a set of dumbbells and I have a bench at home. Or what could I do?
So,
like, would you?
Like, it obviously it depends on the equipment that you have. Like, if you're limited to your equipment, I would recommend that you get a gym membership, and you go to a gym where you've access to all the equipment, so you can train different body parts and lacking areas and all that jazz. Like, I remember designing programs for during the lockdown for bodybuilding, and it's just like some of the movements are just awkward, and like their workarounds, they're not necessarily like ideal for doing it. But in saying that, you can still progressively overload with them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So the key really is obviously volume and progressive overload. And so if I just have a set of dumbbells and a bench and a barbell at home, let's say all my weights top out at about 80 kg
on your barbell.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I think it's pretty reasonable. Sure. That'd be pretty standard.
Yeah. But I'm not quite sure what you're asking me. Is like, on top of the things, if they want to look better and feel better, like, what would they have to do? Like, do you want me to write up a plan for them right now? Like,
I'm saying like briefly, for talk's sake, like I'm saying the top off the top of my head would be obviously, again, push pull legs. Like I would be doing, bench press, tricep extension, squats. I'd be doing bent over rows. I'd be doing bicep curls, and I'd be doing RDLs. It's like just.
So first thing, what I would get them to do is get one of the stupid cheap pull-up bar things that hang in your door from Amazon. Get one of them, €12 to €20, whatever. If you want to pay big money for it, you can, but you don't have to. They work. I would have my upper body pull done on that if I have the capacity to do one pull-up. Just one pull-up, I would do that. If I have the capacity to do isometric holds on it, I would have that in there as well. There's also other stuff you can get for like cable pull downs and all that sort of stuff. They would be brilliant, but if you don't have access to that, the pull-up bar would have to do. Your dumbbells, you can do all your rows with your dumbbells. You can do it with barbells. I don't really like. I was practicing barbell rows or the pendlay row last week. I don't really like them, just because I don't feel as strong in them. I prefer single arm dumbbell rows. I prefer, if I'm doing pull motions, to do one side at a time in general. But I would basically get them on a program where they work all of the muscles that are, like, let's say, aesthetic. I wouldn't necessarily trying to get them strong. I wouldn't be trying to build up their bench to be the biggest bench in the world. I wouldn't trying to be building their squat up or their deadlift up. I would be trying to optimize for time under tension and trying to incrementally increase volume over time. So I would get them doing dumbbell bench presses. I'd get them doing lateral raises. I'd get them doing reverse flies. I'd get them doing RDLs. I would get them doing single leg glute bridges. And then I'd get them doing stuff like sissy squats.
Yeah, so the key is to hit the specific muscle groups with extra volume that you want to grow. And so obviously you can kind of take that by case basis, depending on what.
And all the compound stuff is basically covered in the Fight and Fit workouts. So
exactly,
that would be one of the big ones. So like I would be using it as an accessory rather than a core plan. And that's probably why, like, if I was a coach or if I was listening to this conversation and thinking of what I was saying as a primary program, I wouldn't say it's a very good primary program. But as a supplementary program on top of the FF workouts, it'd be all the basic isolation movements and like focusing in on weak areas or lacking areas. And the lacking areas are usually rear delts and lateral shoulders.
Exactly. And that's my point. My point is that most people who are listening to this will probably be Fight and Fit members. And so obviously, again, if you're at that point where you feel like you want to squeeze that little bit of an extra juice, it's like, what work can we get at home? And if money allows and time allows, obviously you can get yourself, great value out of a gym membership. That is exactly what it is. It's really, really good value for equipment rental. And so, you can buy yourself a set of dumbbells, or you can rent a gym for, 39 quid a month. What, do you just laugh at your own hair?
Yeah, it won't. Anyway, so the biggest bang for buck anyway in terms of exercise to increase let's say aesthetic appeal, I would say for lads is the lateral raise. Do the lateral raise, spam it, pick a weight that you can do about 15 times and no more without cheating at all, and then rest for 30 seconds and then do it again, then rest for 30 seconds, do it again, and rest for 30 seconds, do it again. And just look at yourself in the mirror after, tense up your shoulders, you'll be very happy with yourself.
Another one I like is skull crushers.
For your triceps.
For triceps, it's easy knowing Chris's legs for arms there. I didn't even mention triceps. For me, that's all I would be hitting is triceps.
Yeah, I think push-ups do a really good job of that, and the dumbbell presses do a good job for that. The best thing I find for triceps is the tricep push down. That's what I find. I really like using cables because it lets me rotate my wrists as I do it. But I was listening to a thing by Mike Metzer, and he was saying, don't use a rope. Don't use the rope for cable pushdowns. And he was saying something to do with like rotation or something like that there. Like you need to keep it from rotating. And he was saying the same thing with biceps. This is pretty cool. Try this, okay? So do the swan thing and tense your bicep as hard as you can. Do that. All right, squeeze your bicep as hard as you can. As hard as you can. Now rotate it this way and squeeze it as hard as you can. You feel the difference in how much you can tense.
Oh, kind of.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
So part of the bicep that it does is basically supination of the wrist, or turning your palm up. And basically saying barbell curls are superior to easy bar curls because part of the bicep is basically stabilizing and that rotation. And when you use a barbell, you don't rotate and you have to stabilize it, and it engages it way more. When I was trying barbell curls after that,
interesting,
I blew my arms up. It was tough.
Right, so next up, I'm going to move swiftly along. Some of the guys are doing the High Rocks event. Are you aware of this?
Yes.
So do you know what the event is?
Yeah, so it's basically like a CrossFit event, but it's more like there's loads of running in it as well. Yeah. So it's like do your deadlifts, do your squats, do your thing, go for like 3 mile run, come back, do all your deadlifts, do other things again.
I think it's a 1K run in between each
Is it?
exercise. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So between each, yeah. So that's really, it's a CrossFit thing, but with a heavy focus on running.
Any tips?
Well, I'm not a high rocks athlete, so I think it would be like no, not really. Running's I'm not the best at running. I would say get very strong and
Your answer to everything.
yeah, try and get as strong as you can and try and move the weights as easy as you possibly can. But like the running throws a big spanner. Like I'm not sure about you, but after I go for a big run, my legs are done. I don't want to do anything.
I don't know what you're talking about. I always feel fresh as fuck after a 1K sprint.
1K sprint. Oh man. Yeah, no. So that's that. Like I feel like that's just long enough that it would like take everything out of my legs. And then if I had the squat after it would be significantly less than I would if I was fresh.
So one of the phrases been thrown around by some of the members is compromised running.
Compromised running.
So that's obviously what you're doing. So you're doing. It's actually funny the flip you put on. You have it as compromised exercises. The guys are framing it as compromised running. So they're worried about the run, whereas you're worried about the run fucking up your lifts.
Yeah, 100%.
That's interesting. So basically, what the guys are doing is that we're thinking about getting some PTs going, obviously, but sport-specific training is always going to be best. So obviously, you're going to want to have a great base of both your dynamic CrossFit exercise, like your sled pushes, your wall balls. I'm not sure what, probably burpees, I'm sure, are in there, no doubt. And then your 1K run. And so make sure that you're very good at running 1K. So working on intervals is going to be super important. Making sure that you can sprint, recover, sprint, recover, sprint, recover.
But
obviously
I think a K is a bit too long for even a sprint. I think if the
quote unquote, it's definitely not a sprint. Definitely not a sprint.
I think the hardest part about it is that it's going to be like, because when I was looking it up, one of the members said it to me, and so one of the things you have to do is like a really heavy sled sprint, and then you have to go for a run after, and like the glycogen's going to be gone out of the muscles are going to be completely depleted, and then you have to go for a run after. So it's like the running I don't think is going to be too fast. I think it's going to be all like whatever you drilled, it's going to be your default motor pattern that comes out, and I think that's important to be aware of. So you should be trying to train your default motor pattern for your running. Make sure you have a good run, make sure your hips are open, make sure you're landing nice and soft, because when your legs are depleted, impact becomes a big factor. And I know that when we did the half marathon, I barely fucking trained for it. The impact that I had on my legs.
Great idea.
Yeah. Well, like I did I was training loads in terms of doing high intensity intervals and all that sort of stuff, but doing the long distance stuff, I only did like 3 sort of long runs, and I hated them.
Loved them. I love them.
But impact on drained legs is something that I see a lot, and I just see it leading to injuries in the knees and the low back and the ankles. You need to keep your pep in your step to protect yourself.
We've got a fairly elite runner, Eamon. He's going to be doing the high rocks, and he's got the exact opposite approach. His whole thing is he is going to make the big difference on the runs.
Yeah, of course. Sure, he's one of the bloody best runners ever. He's unreal.
Best runners ever, yeah. Like, I mean, literally one of the best runners ever.
What's his marathon time?
I think it's sub 3 hours.
Sub 3 hours, yeah.
I think it's sub 3 hours.
Like, what's the world record? Is it 2.5 or something?
No,
how do people do that?
No, I'm not even joking. I think that I'm really talking on a scooter, but I actually think it's like 1:50. Pete, if you're watching this, I would love if you could comment in there so I don't seem like an absolute numpty. Pete has the 29th is to Monday. I'm going to have to check this now. In class are normal from
Siri.
5:30 from when we're off. Don't ask Siri, ask Peter. We've got Peter, man. Peter's going to tune in here now to reset the answer.
Right, I just thought Siri might come up. What is the world record for a marathon? I'm not going to cry.
Oh, Pete's got it. Boom. 2 hours, 15 minutes. So, like, absolutely redonkulous. Like,
Kenyan Ulid Kipchoge set a world record for the men, 2 hours, 1 minute and 9 seconds, September 25th, 2022.
There you go. So even
The
doing
Berlin
that. So
Marathon.
2 hours. So 2 hours. So people's good half marathon time is the world record. Insane. But again, no surprise there. So anyway, with the high rocks, you know, I would assume if you're going to be doing the high rocks, you should be a fairly decent runner. Like I don't mean a great runner, but you should be at least decent runner. Like I mean, you should be able
What
to
is
do
it? What does
5.
decent runner look like?
So somebody could do a 5K hard. So not somebody who could just about crawl over a 5K race. Like if you can run a hard 5K, and like you know, for ladies, I would say, if we want to talk standards for ladies, I would be saying it's like you'd want to be running a sub 25 5K.
And for lad?
And for your lad, sub 21. I would say in my opinion, they'd be fairly like strong runs. Now, again, obviously, we're talking
Actually,
elite.
what I think
For
is- what I
elite,
think is-
for elite, we're talking ladies. Like elite, we're talking ladies sub 21, men sub 19,
18.
sub 18. Like I mean, like that's and so if you now, I again wouldn't necessarily say that you need to be elite to do the high rocks and do well in it, but you like again running really should like if you're going, oh, just I'm not fit for 5K. Good luck. Good luck. That's again where you're going to start really running into issues when you're running fatigued and compromised. So
Yeah, I think the high rocks is all going to be energy management or energy system management. That's what I would say. I would say that you should get very, very good at running and very, very good at your lifts. I think finding the balance between them, that's actually what I was thinking was actually kind of cool, because I was looking at this picture and I seen the marathoner and I was like, oh yeah, he's very skinny. And something that happens with runners when they get really good at running, they get lighter, they get leaner, they get lighter, they get leaner, and they get less and less muscle. And I think being someone who's strong and is able to run like fast is an even rarer thing, and that putting them together is actually a really good thing. So I think it's something
that's
that
what CrossFit is all about, isn't it? Really. That's why you see like the fittest on earth. Like they're running at serious clips and they're looking like mini Hulks while they're doing it.
Yeah, it's actually crazy. It's crazy.
It is, and so again, obviously that's the kind of road that you're going down if you want to perform well in the high rocks. You're going to have to be a great runner, and you're going to have to be great at your lift. And so again, you have to decide now if you're an excellent runner. It's like maybe you're best looking down, you know, the specific skills and exercises that you're going to be doing on the high rocks. Or again, if you're already excellent at your lifts, it's like, well, then you're going to have to, you know, double down on the running, and vice versa. You know, if you're not good at either of those things, it's like, well, then you're going to have to train both, and you're in for a hell of a camp coming up. Because again, like there's no need, you don't need to be a specialist at either one of those things. You can be, you know, pretty strong at both of them and still then improve both of them. But again, if that is who you are, well, then you're going to want to be doing both of those things in your training. You're going to want to do this, you know, sport-specific event. So you're going to want to do wall balls and then go for a K, or again, maybe you want to work on improving your speed. Maybe you do the wall balls and then you go very, very fast for 500 meters. And so again, you know, you're training the speed, not yet quite over the distance, and then you can slowly push that out and grow the distance and that kind of thing.
All right.
Chris disagrees.
No, I don't at all. I'm just going to look up what the high rocks is, because I feel like maybe we're talking about something that we're not 100% certain about. Let's see. High rocks. What is high rocks? High rocks combines both running and functional workout stations, where participants run 1 kilometer followed by 1 functional workout station, repeated 8 times. So there's an 8K run. Each race is hosted indoors in expansive exhibition halls, creating an immersive and electrifying race where your spectators can support you from the very beginning to the very end. This race format remains consistent across the globe, enabling global leaderboards and a cumulative world championship at the end of each race, accommodating both professional athletes and everyday fitness enthusiasts looking to take their training to the next level. High Rocks is the sport event for everyone. Ta-da!
Is there levels to this event? Is there novos? Is there?
Hey, I'm not too sure. There is a leaderboard. So here's the competition. Here's an example. So we got 1,000 meters on the ski erg, 50-meter sled push, 50-meter sled push, burpee broad jumps, 1,000-meter rowing, 200-meter forwards carry, sandbag lunges, and then 75 or 100 wall balls. That's your 8 stations, and each station, but like between each one of these things, you have to run a kilometer. So yeah, that seems like it's easy enough.
So maybe again the conversation should shift from 5K to 10K. Like maybe you'd want to be running like obviously that base level would be a great 5K. Maybe you'd want to be running a fairly strong 10K, but that is a lot of cardio.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a hell of a lot, but it's also like you have a 1,000-meter rowing and a 1,000-meter skiing as well.
I don't think a 1,000-meter row is actually that bad. Like, no, don't get me wrong, in combination with everything, like, but it's not.
I think it is after your 4th kilometer of running, and you've already done a kilometer of skiing.
Oh no! Listen, I'm not saying you're going to sit down on that rower and be absolutely delighted to be on the rower. I'm just saying it's like I don't feel like it's not like a 20-minute row. That's probably like closer to, if you're going at a hard pace, a 10-meter. No, jeez, maybe an 8-minute row.
Okay.
You're back on it.
Oh, happy days. Yeah, I got a call from Norway.
There you go. Tell Norway I said hello.
I have no idea why. Anyway, so yeah, High Rocks seems absolutely ridiculous. Anyone who tries to do it is crazy.
We have a lot of them crazy heads here in Fighting Fit.
Yeah, and train best. Oh, here, look, and on the website there's a thing for best High Rocks preparation.
There you go. Check it out, guys. Check it out.
50% is running. Learn the movement standards. Don't start too fast. Rest, eat, and hydrate. And then find yourself a race. Boom.
So I suppose one of the next things I really wanted to talk about as well would be a Fighting Fit white collar. So we've done 2 of them before. We've been saying for the last couple of years, obviously with COVID and all that kind of crack, that we were going to get another one going. COVID put a stop to that for 2 years, and then obviously we opened up the new place. We've been so busy with the level method and trying to create the best program here and trying to find our feet with the 2 studios, and then Stephen and Jenny have their wedding, so there's an awful lot of organization and preparation needed. But I can imagine within the next 16 months that there's going to be another one. And so, what do you think? Would you say that's fairly accurate?
Yeah, I can't wait. I want to see people beat the crap out of each other again. That's going to be great. We also have a free trial for the boxing program as well. If anyone wants to jump into it. I love coaching the boxing guys because I love seeing them basically go from not being confident at all to basically setting up combinations and setting traps and stuff like that there. It's very, very, very cool to see people get faster and stronger. I really want, like, because we're not like a boxing club or whatever, like you can't really get fights from them, you can't really see them fully in action, and the white collar is the place to let that happen. So if anyone who has been doing the boxing program for the last while and they want to do a white collar, I feel bad for whoever they're put against, because like they're getting good. They're getting very,
well,
very
realistically with that, because Chris, you're after turning at least 6 people off doing the white collar. No, I'm joking. But realistically, the way that it works is when we do pair people up, those people will probably find each other if they're as long as they're reasonable size. And so the way that it goes is all skill based. So nobody who has never set foot in the ring or a boxing class would be fighting someone who Chris is after training for the last 16 months.
Yeah, I think
it's not what's going to happen.
I think they'll be impressed with the standard. That's what I think. I think they'll be very, very impressed.
But I think the people always were with the white collars we had. People were always like, geez, even the training that we did before, because I know what it's like to go into a ring unprepared, just myself, just from not doing the work that I should have been doing. I would never let anybody from Fighting Fit do that, and we always got the coaching that we needed coming up to fights, and got the pad work and got the sparring, and so we generally have never in Clannyfield working with the guys sent people in feeling unprepared. Like, I know we've had word, not to shit in anybody else's white collar, but people have done other people's white collars and said that just kind of did a bit of training, did a few bags, get in there and start scrapping. Whereas what we want to do is we actually want to get people to the point where they can feel they can do a bit of boxing. Now, that rarely happens. People get into the ring, everybody's got a plan to get punched in the face, kind of thing. But at least it's like, I think here's what I think. I think that if you can get fairly decent at throwing a strong 1-2 and keeping a tight guard, you could probably win the vast majority of white collars.
Yeah.
So it's like, really keep your shield up bump, bump. Keep your shield up, bump, bump. Learn a little bit of head movement. But the big issue is when people start lifting the chin and opening the arms
They get
and
overly
swinging
aggressive.
and just missing. That's the big problem. And so we'd love to work with you guys if you are interested in doing a white collar. We'd love to know. Comment below on the video this on YouTube if you're watching on YouTube, and let us know if you're a Fighting Fit member and you'd be interested in doing a white collar. Let us know, because we're gonna stop putting pressure now on Stephen after this wedding to start at least getting the wheels in motion.
Yeah, well, I think one of the things that was said to me about the boxing that we've run is that I've heard it now at least 4 times where someone has done white collars before, they've done boxing training before in other places, and you know, the stuff that they learn here is just, you know, like the detail and the drills and like the efficiency at which you can get better and the confidence that you can do what you need to do to improve is like way better than anywhere else to go to, which I haven't been to any other places, so I'm not sure.
Well, I would generally just say it's probably because we charge a little bit more, to be honest.
No, whoa. I would also say that I am the coach of it, and I know exactly what I'm teaching, and I have the systematic approach.
But that's my point. My point is, though, that because of the system that we have, we can afford to give people the time and the attention that needed. Whereas an awful lot of other people, is like, you could have a coach who has loads of boxing experience, and they're barely getting their hands on these people. Whereas, like, we get them in the gym, you'll get them on the boxing program, we'll get them in Clan Efa. So it's like, it's so many touch points where you're getting that one-on-one attention, and that's how we like to do things. We like to do things where it's like, listen, yes, fair enough, we could get a whole pile load more people and give them a lot less value. It's like, or we can charge a little bit more and people feel like they're getting exactly what they want, as opposed to, you know, half a job Bob.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Yeah, no, obviously,
but that's just
massive credit to you and your coaching, I'm sure. You know, you do a fantastic job.
So everyone knows, the white collar that we do is all for charity, and we do not get paid for it. So we do it all the donations, all the money that's raised goes to whatever charity we decide.
Yeah, but what I mean is that, you know, most people, everybody, the vast majority of people who do the Fighting Fit white collar are Fighting Fit members, and by nature of that, it's like they're getting great strength conditioning. You know, they've got loads of coaching, they've got coaching on the back end. And then obviously, again, we go out of our way because it is charity to do the extra hours and the extra sessions. It's not just that we're doing that one thing. And then, you know, the type of client that we have generally, you know, might get some PTs, they're trying to get it in there extra, you know, it's like the white collar is something that it really, really is amazing. I think we still have some DVDs laying about somewhere from the last one. I must watch it again.
Yeah, we absolutely do.
So
yeah, that's a great crack.
I think that's all I have to say this week. Chris, do you have anything you want to add or anything you want to finish off on?
No, that's it.
Cool. Guys, thanks so much for listening to the Fighting Fit Show. I hope you liked this podcast. Make sure you like and subscribe to our channel, guys. Like this video. It really, really helps us out. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell so that way you get a notification every time we release a video. You are a legend. Thanks so much for listening. As always, guys, we'll see you in the next one. Peace.